In a world clouded by noise, distractions, and distorted truths, the power of accurate thinking stands like a quiet but unwavering lighthouse. It does not shout or demand attention, but it lights the path for those willing to look inward and challenge the assumptions that shape their lives. The book Accurate Thinking, often attributed to the teachings of Napoleon Hill, is not merely about intelligence or logic, it is a timeless guide for inner clarity, truth-seeking, and disciplined thought. It teaches us how to separate fact from fiction, how to resist emotional manipulation, and how to shape our lives not by what we wish were true, but by what actually is. At its heart, accurate thinking is a spiritual discipline as much as it is a mental one. It demands that we rise above our personal biases, fears, and emotional reactions to look clearly at reality. This kind of thinking begins with a deep commitment to truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. We are often drawn to but the accurate thinker is different. They are not interested in being right for ego's sake, but in seeing the truth so they can grow, adapt, and make wise decisions. Think of a person standing at the edge of a forest, needing to find their way through. If they base their path on rumors, emotions, or assumptions, they will get lost. But if they observe, listen, measure, and verify, they'll find the safest and surest route. That is what accurate thinking offers us in every area of life, from business and relationships to personal development and spiritual growth. One of the central principles of this mindset is the ability to distinguish between facts and opinions. This may sound simple, but in practice, it is one of the most profound shifts a person can make. For instance, if someone says, "You'll never succeed, you're not smart enough," that's not a fact, it's an opinion. Yet many people accept such statements as truth, often internalizing them for years. Accurate thinking teaches us to ask, is this based on verifiable evidence? Or is it just someone's interpretation, emotion, or projection? By developing this habit, we take control of what we allow into our minds. In relationships, too, this principle brings peace and strength. Imagine two people in conflict, each believes they are right, each feels wronged. But often, neither is examining the facts clearly. They may be reacting to tone, to assumptions, to stories in their heads. Accurate thinking allows us to pause, to say, let me separate what I know from what I assume. Let me ask for clarity, instead of jumping to conclusions. In doing so, we build bridges instead of burning them. Another profound insight from the book is the recognition of emotional influence. We live in an age where our emotions are constantly being stirred, by media, by marketing, by social trends, even by well-meaning people around us. Emotions are not our enemies, but they are poor masters when it comes to thinking. Accurate thinking teaches us to become emotionally aware without becoming emotionally driven. When someone tries to convince us of something, we must. This awareness becomes a shield against manipulation, and a compass for our personal integrity. Let's take a practical example. Suppose you're offered a business opportunity. It sounds exciting, the pitch is powerful, and the people around you are enthusiastic. But accurate thinking asks you to dig deeper. What are the facts? What are the risks? Who benefits most? Is the promise backed by evidence or emotion? In this way, accurate thinking protects you, not by making you cynical, but by making you conscious. Hill also emphasizes the importance of definiteness of purpose in cultivating accurate thinking. When you are clear on your goals, your values, and your direction, it becomes easier to filter information and make decisions. Without this clarity, the mind becomes like a sponge, absorbing every opinion, every trend, every fleeting emotion. But with definiteness, your mind becomes a filter, taking in what serves your growth and discarding what distracts. Accurate thinking is not just about what you think, but about why you think it. One of the more subtle, but deeply transformational messages of the book is the call to mental humility. It takes courage to say, "I don't know." It takes strength to change your mind in the face of new evidence. The accurate thinker is not stubborn, they are flexible, teachable, and open. This humility does not make them weak, it makes them wise. In contrast, prideful thinking, being overly attached to being right, leads to blindness, stagnation, and often pain. But when we say, "Let me examine this again, let me learn," we enter the space of true growth. Hill also urges us to be wary of generalizations. The world is full of sweeping statements: people are selfish, the system is broken, success is just luck. These kinds of thoughts are seductive, because they relieve us of responsibility. But accurate thinking demands specificity. It asks, which people? What evidence? Under what conditions? When we stop accepting vague generalizations and start asking sharper questions, our view of the world becomes clearer, more balanced, and more empowering. There's also a vital lesson in choosing our sources of information wisely. Inaccurate thinking often comes from polluted wells, biased news, unqualified opinions, or toxic environments. If we surround ourselves with unclear or deceptive voices, our minds will become clouded. But when we seek truth from credible, balanced, and wise sources, our thinking sharpens. Like a gardener tending to their soil, we must protect the environment of our mind. In this journey of transformation, the accurate thinker is free from groupthink, from social pressure, from blindly following the herd. Independent thought does not mean isolating yourself or rejecting guidance, it means learning to think for yourself, to verify before accepting, to stand firm when necessary, and to change when truth requires it. It is a form of inner strength, of spiritual sovereignty. And yet, accurate thinking is not cold or mechanical, it is infused with compassion and empathy. It understands that people are often shaped by their wounds, their fears, their limitations. When someone behaves negatively, the accurate thinker does not react with judgment but with curiosity. What may be driving this behavior? What pain might be underneath it? In this way, accurate thinking leads not only to clarity but to kindness. It allows us to respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. Perhaps the most empowering message of the book is this: you are the thinker of your thoughts. You have the power to pause, to reflect, to question, to redirect. You are not at the mercy of your emotions, your past, or other people's opinions. Through discipline and awareness, you can cultivate a mind that is not only accurate but peaceful, powerful, and purposeful. This is not a gift you are born with, it is a habit you can build, one thought at a time. In real life, this transformation is visible in those who rise from confusion to clarity, from failure to success, from victimhood to ownership. The person who once blamed others begins to take responsibility. The one who once acted on impulse now acts with wisdom. The one who felt lost in a sea of opinions now walks with quiet confidence, rooted in truth. Accurate thinking is not about being perfect, it's about being awake. It's not about having all the answers, it's about asking better questions. It's not about cold logic, it's about conscious living. It's the foundation of every great life, every meaningful decision, every breakthrough in personal growth. It is the silent discipline behind courage, the quiet ally of faith, and the steady companion of wisdom. So as you walk forward in your life, through challenges, opportunities, doubts, and dreams, may you carry the torch of accurate thinking. Let it guide you to truth, to integrity, to peace. Let it cleanse your mind of fear, confusion, and illusion. And let it lead you, step by step, to the life that is waiting for you, not the life others have imagined for you, but the one that is truly yours to live.